Carlos Prates versus Geoff Neal is happening in April. Now, who's going to win this fight? Well, first of all, who's going to win this fight? Let's take a look at their latest performances, in which Carlos Prates fought Li Jinliang, in which Carlos Prates dropped Li twice in round 1.
Nice left hand, Prates. Oh!
Carlos Prates then dropped and knocked out Li in round 2.
Prates.
And after this, Carlos Prates went on to fight Neil Magny, in which Carlos Prates dropped and knocked out Neil Magny in round 1. Now let's take a look at Geoff Neal's latest performances, in which he fought Ian Gary, in which it was a very boring fight. Ian Gary was just running for his life, but he still managed to outland Geoff Neal, and Ian Gary won by decision.
Undefeated, the future, Ian.
And after this, Geoff Neal went on to fight Rafael dos Anjos, in which Geoff Neal dropped Rafael dos Anjos, but then the rest of the fight due to Rafael dos Anjos getting a knee injury in round 1.
Now, this fight is going to be a fun fight to watch, and it could end up getting knockout of the night if Carlos Prates knocks out Geoff Neal, who has never been knocked out in the UFC. But now let's take a look at both men. When we look at Carlos Prates, we see that he's a huge prospect who has a lot of eyes on him because of his dominant performances and also because he's part of the fighting nerds. And now if you look at his record, we'll see that he's not undefeated, but he is undefeated in the UFC, and he's on an 11-fight winning streak, stopping 10 of those opponents. So from the looks of it, Carlos Prates does seem to be a big problem for everybody in the division. So we have to see if he can strike with Geoff Neal, which from the looks of it, it doesn't look too good for Geoff Neal, considering that Carlos Prates is the taller and longer fighter. So with his range and power, he's going to make it hard for Geoff Neal to get in the inside and get anything significant going, especially because Geoff Neal has the heavy boxing style. So realistically, Carlos Prates should be in control of this fight. He should be controlling the range and the pace of this fight. So in the end, I don't think this fight is going to be a boring fight like the Ian Gary fight. I think Carlos Prates is going to look towards putting that pressure on Geoff Neal and landing clean shots. So I got Carlos Prates being the first person to knock out Geoff Neal in the UFC.